Alright guys, let's try to pick it up where we left off. Um uh we're reviewing um Cat's VOD. Just giving him some tips on how he could improve his chances of getting high kill games and stuff like that, calling out some of his mistakes, etc. Alright, so where do we leave off here? Also, let's try and go a little bit fast. Let's try and see if we can go a little bit faster. That last one was probably a little bit too long. Let me know in the comments or whatever, guys, if you enjoy the long videos or you prefer it to be shorter or something. So I think we left off about here. This is like my first time going through this video. You're getting my first reactions to this, so it's like honest reactions. Try and like get the fights as well. Just Alright, so that was kind of odd. I feel like watch it back to see exactly what was odd about it. But the first thing that kind of strikes me that was odd about it is, again, I feel like it's that use of cover in a way. Like this was an okay fight to engage with at first, right? But subconsciously, almost instinctually, since you heard guys in that direction, you should have kind of been cognizant of the fact that you may get shot at from that direction. So like shooting at this enemy wasn't like the worst idea ever. It's just like you know, let's see. I feel like at this moment here where you kind of try and chase, you could have played a little bit more cover oriented, if you get what I mean. Like you're too okay being out in the open right now. Like I feel like here was a possible source of like even a little bit of cover, even like running closer to the guy actually while he's running away, because he's probably not looking at you, and using this tree as cover would have probably been a little bit better when these trees sided. But yeah, I it's right now, like it's a little bit loosey goosey. This wasn't like the worst thing to do or anything, just a note. The raid queue here wasn't specifically needed, so you didn't have to use your queue here. I guess it's as a result of not knowing exactly how close the guy was to you, but to be honest, even if the guy was very close to you, and he did queue, you'd probably be dead anyways. So I mean, the raid queue here wasn't specifically needed. I could hear just from like the bullets and stuff like that, that the guy, an intuition based on like what you heard before, that the guy was probably a fewer distance away, so the raid queue wasn't specifically needed. But this, and then you like you kind of run. I guess you kind of figured, oh, he wasn't that close to me, and that's why you kind of came back here. But yeah, like if the guy was close to you and then you did actually come back here, then you'd be dead. I was about to say right before you did that portal that we've been here for too long, right? Like you kind of want to be as efficient as possible in terms of like your movements. You want to be where you want to be. What's the word? Once people are aware of where you are, you kind of want to be there only as once that happens, you only want to be there for as long as it's necessary for you to be there, right? So the moment you don't have a reason for being in a spot anymore and people know where you are, you should probably leave. and that's what he did. I just thought in my mind, it kind of felt like it took a little bit too long.
Two enemy squads left. Easy.
I just have to know it too, like, cause it keeps on striking me as like a big thing. Like having needs is such a huge macro advantage. Like if you really want to get up in your business, up in the house, like right there, but without committing, like a near through the window would have been such a great play. If you want to do that, still risky, but possible. I Alright, so three teams left. I was gonna say like alright, so this is one thing I realize as well with people. Guys, if you're trying to be like the most talented like aggressive player here, like we're talking ASU level, we're talking like Hal, like super aggressive like Diego type, like you shouldn't care really about like fucking up. Right, like you should push as many and like be as aggressive as you can until you learn all the underlying principles that are messing up. I'll forgive it here because you're like three teams left, so you probably just and you're solo, so you probably just want to uh how you say um like wait until they fight and then you be the third party, which is a pretty smart move. That is a smart thing to do, but and Ket's like pretty aggressive already, so I let it go. But I know some people are like I've watched people with like 400 hours, 300 hours who are still look to me like they've just installed the game, and that's the reason, right? Like they're afraid to be aggressive in fights. They're afraid to hot drop a ton and get their ass handed to them, to learn like all those, to get used to those mechanics and have them be a little bit instinctual, like so like don't be that guy, be aggressive. We're not talking about Cat here, we're just talking generally, but yeah.
I'm taking shots. Need to recharge my shields.
Yeah, so Cat takes the initiative a lot. He actually pushes a lot and takes the initiative to like work on those skills. This though was like a bad push because like the teams are all settled. Like they're all probably just waiting for the next team to like be the fight. So it like almost any push you do here is gonna have to be really skillful, in terms of isolating people, or you're just gonna have to wait until the third part they start to fight or something.
Recharging my shields.
And I should know too, like right here he has a big problem because like one team they're fully trained on him. There are three teams left and he's a solo, and one full team it looks like they're fully trained on him. So right now he needs to be as ninja as possible on this map as possible. He needs to get to a place where teams don't have eyes on him, or at least like for them to get into a fight, right? So like right now he should be playing ninja essentially. The devil.
Recharging my shields.
Yeah, I was thinking about your play a lot, and like knowing your goals and like wanting to get high kill games and stuff like that, and what your problem is. And I think I have a suggestion for you with the wingman that could really help you speed that along a lot quicker. Like it'll allow you to do the things you want to do while negating the things that you are weak on that you still need to
30
work
seconds
on,
until
but
close.
it's kind of like a way to get around that. Worked for me fantastically.
Just 10 seconds.
So this, in my opinion, was a good reposition here. Like No, he's kind of played ninja like we said, right? And he's taking the position of where people don't know where he is, and he's in a position where most likely he has the back of both teams, or at least the he's out of the POV of most teams. So this is like a good reposition here. The only bad thing that would happen is if they do start to fight, then they're
Recharging my shield.
yeah, right now, unless you unless you're a super lethal player, like you know how to get those kills and like do people really dirty. When it comes to a situation like this where it's like UV two other teams, you kind of want to just third party them if you can, to be honest, or kind of you want to be as ninja as possible so that you have that surprise advantage on your side when you need it, when it comes down to it, when the circle is moving, when it comes time for everyone to be running. You kind of like the reposition here was good because it kind of got eyes trained off you, but unless you plan to be a really lethal player, like meaning all of your shots, like anytime you engage, whenever you engage, you plan to be killing someone in this moment. The best thing you could possibly be doing right now is probably just being super ninja and wait, like finding out where everybody is, waiting for them to engage, so that you, when your chance comes, when the circle gets super low, then you capitalize on that and just like use surprise advantage to get the last kill and win the game. All right, no, you kind of have a problem because they, like the biggest, I guess it's duos, it counts kind of less, but the biggest, when you're solo, the biggest advantage that you have is being solo, right? You have the advantage of being super stealth on the map because like it's not two people, you're not making so much, like you have the, yeah, you have the opportunity to be super stealth. So right now the fact that he's solo and both teams seem to know where he is, that's a big problem for him. All right, right here I just be trying to get stealth as much as possible. Again, sometimes not possible. In those cases, it'll probably just come down to who has the circle, to be honest, and who plays the circle better, which I'm figuring is what will happen here.
One minute until ring close. It's near. Easy.
All right, so right now what cat should be thinking is, how can I get to this circle in the most stealth way? How can I get to this circle in the safest way possible? Because right now that is what it will come down to, who has circle, because whoever has the circle here will have the perfect opportunity to see everybody else coming in and to see everybody else moving out in the open, while they have to, by the way, right? So right now, while he has the 30 seconds left, he should be thinking either how can I wait until they're engaging and not looking at me, or how can I like get to this circle as quickly, as safely as possible, so that I have the opportunity to um to not be disadvantaged by running with the circle at my back, and I have the advantage of seeing other people um like kind of playing with that at their disadvantage.
Let's go this way.
And he knew, like, this, I think this guy here has pretty much like all the advantage. This guy here and some of this host here has the advantage, maybe a little bit over here, because that's where the circle is right now. So this guy, he's somewhat in the best spot and somewhat in the worst spot, because everybody knows where he is. and purely his fault, to be honest. Possibly could not be helped because of the way the circle is configured, but in a way he has the best and the worst spot, right? He has to just choose whichever fights are the most logical right now, he and his team. But Kat has a problem right now because he has to get to here where this guy is, where the guy has height advantage on him 100%. So yeah, he has to figure out a safe way to get to this spot. Like that will be the deciding factor. So my thought process would have been like, how can I kill this guy before it gets to that, or how can I wait until it's last minute and both those teams are fighting to use that to my advantage to press that. Like right now, when it comes down to last circles, it's purely who. Most of the times when it comes down to circle, it's purely who plays the circle better right now. So let's see.
Only one more squad this time.
You're being aimed at.
Yeah, I need that is to that guy, unfortunately. So yeah, it did happen like how we were thinking, but yeah, Cat, I know your objective is like be an aggressive player. So I'm gonna make some like recommendations actually with you, and see how those work. But a big part of what you need to work on now is kind of but again, I'm not looking at the fact that you lost the fight. I'm pretty sure you probably don't care. You probably just want to get those skills as much as you can. That's what you're working on. Um, yeah, but you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn to use nades better. You're going to have to learn to use cover better. But a quick win, a quick actually win that you can have if you want to take the time to do this is even if you don't have those, what you if since you're constantly put in positions, it seems like where you want to be aggressive, but you aren't necessarily like sure to approach it without giving away like most of your health. um a quick thing that you can do which helped me a lot is you can start to practice with the wingman. The wingman is a fantastic weapon, right? And right now it's probably back to being probably back to being the best gun in the game, to be honest, since they put back the skull piercer. Because like what the wingman allows, it allows you to dish a significant amount of damage to people without leaving where you are, right? The wingman is probably that one gun where you can as a player, from other than the snipers, of course, maybe, but the wingman, there's something about its damage model which is just so unpredictable and so so lethal, that if you learn to use that gun and you really focus on headshots, that even with all your shortcomings of like not using cover the base, and not like not not playing not playing to the not manipulating the enemy's POV as well. You could, and I've done this, so I know. You could use the wingman, and you'd get to that you'd get to that point where you're able to go on those runs where you're able to get like 10 kills, 12 kills, back to back, blah blah blah, with the wingman, purely because you are able to do so much damage from where you are, from in cover, and like without people without having to chase those skills necessarily, and then you can use your aggression once you have that macro advantage of a player down on the other team. So I feel like for you, recommendations would be a special recommendation would be learn to use the wingman. Without Otherwise you're gonna have to compensate for all these other problems that I'm telling you about, like your like your lack of usage of cover well in those dynamic nitty gritty fights, and your kind of disregard for your own health in a lot of these ways by taking so much 50-50 fights. So yeah, like special recommendation, use the wingman. Learn to use the wingman. It will do you do super well, especially given all these things that we're talking about. general specific recommendations for this video. The best thing that I could probably tell you to do is go look at ASU, and go look at those games in what's the name of what's that other map? The other map, not Kings Canyon, World's Edge. Is it World's Edge? I don't know. Like the other map, go look on those clips where he lands in the middle of city, right, and he's playing in those houses, right, or just any clips where he's playing houses, right. What you'll notice is that he uses hallways and doors very, very tactically, in the sense that he's not stressing those angles at all. Like, I feel like the best way to see like the mistakes that you're making compensated for is to go watch those clips of him where he's or any like really good player, to be honest, any like pro level player plus, or like high tier streamer, they use these angles, and they don't you see they don't immediately push these angles, they don't push the door, they don't like some players, they want, like, as they get into as they see a new room, a new angle, they want to get into that room and that new angle use. If you go watch like players like Asu, Albrelli, Hal, you probably see that abuse of angles where they're just like using these doors, and they're using the fact that they're not in the room to play on all those angles inside of the room, while they're able to fall back, while they're able to like use those angles at the hallways, etc., to their advantage. And I feel like that, like looking at those clips will show you what I mean exactly when I say your peaks aren't like the cleanest, right. You that would be like the sharpest demonstration of what I mean. And I don't know, maybe I'll record a clip showing this to you as well. But that's some of my recommendations. So now, if I probably give some more in the Discord, so you guys can jump in there and let me know, guys. If you want to submit VODs, you can leave a comment, or you can like message me in Discord or anything, and I'll try and get to it. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one.